The next one we're reviewing is called Agora, and this is an independent film, and this is really such a thought-provoking tale on the role of religious intolerance in unstoppable cycles of social violence. And this is really a hard-hitting film, and it stars Rachel Weisz, former Oscar winner. Now, I gotta say, although no self-respecting epic can ever be less than 2 hours, and you know, this is gonna be one of those movies that won't be a big hit because it's gonna be hard to find a big audience for this type of film that'll sit through 144 minutes of this. It's almost 2.5 hours. But Agora is a really fine piece of work. Now, the director, Alejandro Amenábar, really does a great job here. He really just puts such a good tale together, such a poignant tale of just an issue that really is talked about in a lot of inner circles, you know, in terms of, you know, news and whatnot, but really it's been taboo in the film, and it's just been trying to make it into blockbuster box office dretch or whatever, usually this type of concept would. But yet, this is actually something that really just hits you. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a brilliant film, but in a sense where it has that kind of message to send, and I think it'll pave the way for more brilliant films of this type of concept. Now, he gets the most out of this film, and some of the scenes, however, are just very flatly acted by some of the supporting characters, even though Rachel Weisz does more than her fair share of effort to really carry this along. But it just becomes such a timely parable on the whole issue of the whole fundamentalist violence and whatnot. Now, the heart of the film is Weisz's performance. She really has this screen presence that really doesn't require to being outright, you know, just saying, you know, it's weird. She has a great screen presence, but she doesn't overly stand out in the sense that someone like, say, Meryl Streep would. But she does it in a very, you know, calm way where she just seems something that when you look at her, she doesn't seem like something you would say overly, you know, bombing into the movie screen, like, you know, just exploding out at you. She's just there, but she's just there in a very good and awesome way, and that's what makes her such a great actress. Even in the Mummy films, I didn't find that she overly, you know, boomed out out of the screen, really. But yet, she is so good here. Now, she plays, of course, a 4th century AD philosopher and teacher who lived in Alexandria during the Roman Empire, only, you know, married only to her intellect and, you know, mindset, and her, you know, passion for astronomy and mathematics and whatnot. Now, she is loved by 2 men, her slave Devas, and her student, I always have trouble pronouncing his name, thinking it's to write this stuff down, Orestes or whatever. Yeah, it's hard, I don't know. But I gotta say, the politics in this film are just at their weakest during, you know, overly political speeches and, you know, monologues and whatnot. It just doesn't seem to come together in the right way. But however, it's the underlying facts of this film that I loved, that, you know, from the uprising of the freedom of slavery and whatnot, that really just make this work. Now, you picture Russell Crowe in a type of film like this, but yet he's nowhere to be found, thank goodness. So, and don't get me wrong, I like Russell Crowe, but there are things that bug me about him. And in a film like this, again, you usually see it as just a big Hollywood epic, but this is not that type of epic. This type of epic is a little more downtrodden, even though it's put in a different time frame. You just can't, you know, see it as something like you would like with Gladiator. Now, I will say this much, however, that, you know, it was an experience. Not as much as, you know, a film like Gladiator was, which is maybe one of the best modern epics of its time, or Lord of the Rings. It's not an adventure film, if you get my drift. There's no action here. It's not an epic in that sense. It's an epic in a dramatic sense, like, say, the 30s or 40s. But even those films had a little bit of adventure in them. This has a touch in it, but not in the sense that you're thinking. It'll be hard for most audiences to sit through, especially the fact that it's not a great film. But there's just so much to enjoy here, and Weisz's performance really just had me hook, line, and sinker. So I'm recommending the film almost really just based on that. But yet, regardless of, you know, the whole circles around it and the facts of, you know, love and torn between 2, you know, people and whatnot, and, you know, the politics surrounding, you know, the whole world around them, it's just, there's some good plots here, some good subplots, and I liked it. So I will give Agora 3.5 stars out of 5.